Imagine cruising. More than just a cruise. Visit imaginecruising.co.uk now to find your dream holiday.
Hi, welcome to A Week in Weatherfield, the Coronation Street review show presented by two people who can't wait to meet Mary's anti-chlamydia. I'm David Brown.
And I'm Johnathon Hughes.
This week's headlines: Sal's out,
Reservoir Platts,
and baby Bombshell. Okay, well, Sally Metcalfe is finally free from prison in a rather kind of hurried set of circumstances, wasn't it?
I felt there's a lot of this going on. Can we get Sally out? Can we get Sally out really quickly?
Yeah.
We got 2 episodes on Monday. Let's just wrap up this plot really fast with a lot of exposition.
So much plot.
So much plot, just in Monday's double, I felt. And I've kind of felt that it became almost a greatest hits of when middle-aged, gullible women are conned by a man in a suit.
Suave, sophisticated bounders.
Yeah. And let's just end it now. I felt the show was saying, and there was a touch of
bit of John Lindsay in there.
A lot of John Lindsay, a bit of Lewis even,
Yeah.
a bit of even John Stape, you know, a bit of
tiny bit of Hillman. A bit of Joe McIntyre.
Oh, a bit of Joe McIntyre.
With the fake death thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then we just got Sally out of prison, which is what we were all waiting for.
Thank
really.
goodness,
Yeah,
yeah.
but Sally was very annoyed her condiments weren't in the right cupboard.
Yes, she was.
Would you be annoyed if your tuna was where your penguins would be, David?
I don't even have to have done a stint in prison to get annoyed about that, to be honest. But
we feel your pain, Sally.
I liked it that they didn't kind of hit the reset button and just have Sally go back to normal, though. I thought it was a nice way of handling it, having this new friendship with Abby.
Yeah,
and
scarred Sally as well.
Yeah, mentally scarred, and kind of finding things in common with all the other Corrie women who've been in jail over the years.
It was like the ex-Lags Club, wasn't it? Where Gail was sharing her stories.
It's a shame Fizz is on maternity leave, actually.
Yeah, she's got a lot of tales to tell. Didn't she get married while she was in prison?
Yeah,
it's very eventful for Fizz. And not just the Corrie women, because Peter Barlow had a little scene with Sally where he, sympathised, didn't he, about never leave your cell. So I'm very much looking forward to the weekly meetings of the ex-Lags. Do you think they'd meet like it was a prison visiting room and they'd need like a pane of glass between them?
They'd all have to be in a tabard with a stripe going down it. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to touch.
No touching.
Might be on a phone even. That would...
How's your week been?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still struggling.
Yeah. Oh.
Someone would smuggle a file in a cake.
Yeah. Yes. No, we can eat cake now. We can use knife to cut them even.
It never leaves you.
Yeah.
It never leaves you. But I'm very, particularly the Abby-Sally friendship, which shouldn't work on paper, I'm delighted that that is now a thing. And I think it's something Corrie does really well, isn't it? It's spotting an unlikely partnership or an unlikely bond. Yeah, they really run with it. I can't wait for more of Sally and Abby. Sabby.
Now that she's moved in.
Now she's moving in. Let the fun begin. Tim's delighted, obviously.
Now, you mentioned blades and knives a little bit there when we talk. I mean, Sally was threatened with a knife in prison, but it wasn't the only kind of knifey type sharp instrument on Corrie this week, because we also had the Nick and David storyline in which David threatened Nick with an open blade.
He did. It was a bit bladey on Corrie this week.
Yeah.
A bit bladey.
Yeah.
Yes, it was quite menacing, really, that David offered to give Nick a cutthroat shave, but obviously it was his way of confronting him about Nick stealing Audrey's money, and then it all got a bit Tarantino.
Well, Stuck in the Middle with You was on the radio, wasn't it, briefly?
Very briefly. There was a little nod to that. Shona later referenced, where's this cutthroat shave then? You've got to chop his ear off or something. It was very Tarantino, I thought, and very menacing.
Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of funny because when David is accused of being a spoiled child, he's always very quick to protest that he's no such thing.
Yeah, he's not that man anymore.
But then suddenly just reverts to type, doesn't he?
And acts like a spoiled child. Yeah, I think there was a line like, oh, why does everyone just think I'm some spoiled brat? And then cut to him like attacking Audrey and Claudia with shampoo and again I think scissors were used.
Yeah.
And he basically trashed the salon. Even the biscuits in the tin could have got thrown at Maria at one point. But yes, I think it was good that confrontation with Nick and David. Very entertaining.
Really entertaining because it kind of played on their history as brothers, and it was almost like the script writers wanted to kind of get in as much of their past grievances as possible.
Yeah, just to air them and just to kind of think, well, where are they now and where have they been? They have been at odds before, as they talked about. Nick slept with Kylie. David caused the car crash that gave Nick brain damage. that can't be ignored, but that can only come up when relevant, and I think that's what Corrie do really well. All soaps obviously have character backstories to draw on, but because Corrie has been going the longest, it's really so rich, isn't it? So rich, and they tap into it just when it's right. And you kind of feel like all is forgiven-ish now because Nick and David have now decided
we've got to now move on to the barbershop thing, haven't we? You know, so they've got to put that animosity and the fact that it was all blackmailed money. It's all got to be put behind them in a way. Yeah.
But until next time,
in 5 years' time when they have their next showdown, it'll all come out again, won't it?
Yeah, so I think, the next, it's cut to like 2023 or something. Nick's going to be like, what are you going to do? Yeah. Give me a wet shave again? And there'll be clips of that. And I think that very, very good. All is forgiven for now, it seems, with the brothers Platt.
And did you enjoy all the talk of the barbershop? Because it seems like David wants to capture the manscaping market, doesn't he, with his choice of clientele?
Very specific clientele. I mean, you think there's not room for more than one salon in the street. Au contraire. Turns out there is. He's got a very specific market in mind. It's I think he described it as them blokes who spend more on grooming than rent. So
Adam, doesn't he?
Yeah, Adam, and that. I mean, that beard doesn't take care of itself, surely. No. And that alley,
that alley,
who he's never spoken to. Who's that bloke keeps walking about in a beard and a coat? I think he's one of Michelle's sons. Don't really know who he is, but I'll cut his hair.
I think that Adam's more King Street in Manchester than Victoria Street in Weatherfield.
Do you think? Is that quite a hipstery vibe?
Well, when I used to live there, it was.
Oh, okay.
It was always kind of like the very kind of upmarket street.
Trendy. So, did you go there, David, for your haircuts?
No, I was more Market Street. Go to Manchester, you'll see what I mean.
So I don't think you or me is the clientele that David's after. He wants kind of disposable income trendy hipsters, doesn't he?
I haven't got enough hair left to cut, to be honest.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Should we swiftly move on from that one?
Let's move on.
Yeah. Now, there were a few new additions in the offing on Corrie this week. We had one born. We had Bertie Barlow.
Not as in Bassett. Yes, by the way.
Bertie Osborne, is it going to?
Is it?
Yeah, Bertie Osborne, I think.
Do you know what? Are Sinead and Daniel actually married legally? Because they had that weird ceremony.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
I don't know
Bertie
if he's...
Tinker.
Bertie Bassett, let's just call him
Bertie Bassett, which is, and the hint of more to come because of Amy Barlow's surprise pregnancy.
Yes, another the sound of tiny footsteps. I don't know quite. This is obviously like a big tease for next week. It's obviously going to be the big story next week, isn't it? I felt like when there was that last scene on Fridays where
the tester.
Yeah, and then Amy like secret pregnancy. It was like a post-credit sequence in a Marvel movie. You know, you stick around right to the end, and then you have like Thanos popping out the cupboard, or like see you in the next movie. This was the end credit sequence.
This is all setting it up, isn't it? But perhaps that Amy should do similar to what Daniel and Sinead did and name her baby after a long-standing member of the Barlow family.
I think she should. There's a nice tradition being set.
If she had a daughter, could it be another Deirdre?
Oh,
that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Or another Blanche.
Another Blanche.
Baby Blanche. Imagine baby Herman from Roger Rabbit.
Depending on her personality. We'll see how that one pans out. But I mean, do you think that Steve and Tracy are going to kind of wise up to the fact that Amy is pregnant? Because they seem to be more into just chasing each other around the living room.
I know, like Benny Hill music.
Like a Ray Cooney farce.
It is a bit farcy. Yeah, I don't think they'll notice. And Tracy thinks she's the best mum in the world. She kept telling everyone what a great mum and brilliant businesswoman she is this week, unbeknownst to her teenage daughter's pregnant. She has no idea. What
I liked about it, though, with the Steve and Tracy story is that in the old days, classic Corrie days, Vera Duckworth was always the one who was kind of always chasing Jack for sex.
Yeah, she was amorous, wasn't she, all the time?
And he'd pretend to be asleep. You know, find an excuse to go down to the pub cellar.
Yeah, to get away from her.
Yeah, so the marital duties were not being performed by Jack, but in this case, it's been flipped.
Gender reverse.
Yeah,
very topical.
Yeah, so we got Tracy kind of trying to back out and Steve piling on the pressure. But
very saucy.
To similar comic effect, though, I thought. Yeah, it was all very good.
Very amusing, I thought. Yeah.
Anyway, well, we'll be back in 7 days' time. We've now got to head off and give Tim back his DVD copy of Magic Mike.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I borrowed that. Okay, we'll do that now.
We'll be back with another week in Weatherfield.
Escape the drama with Imagine Cruising. Visit imaginecruising.co.uk now to find your dream holiday.